And we're live. The dog is barking. What's up, everybody? Welcome in to week 4 Start Sit Pro Football Focus. Your host, Andrew Erickson, joined as always by Dwayne McFarland. Dwayne, are you ready for some week 4 action?
Just a rhetorical question, right?
You know it. You know it. So, guys, we're here for you in the chat. So lay down the questions, comments. We will answer away as soon as we start to see some start sit questions. I guess we'll just hit on the early news, Dwayne, from some injuries. So Elijah Mitchell is out for this game. Trey Sermon has moved up the PFF consensus rankings. How do you feel about him this week and going forward, maybe a little bit for people that own Trey Sermon? Is this wheels up for him rest of season? Thoughts on Sermon?
Yeah, I think we just have to take the 49ers backfield week by week, to be honest, But it is an opportunity for Sermon to try and assert himself once more. Last week, he got a little better as the game went on. He didn't really he had a limited practice week all of the week before because of the concussion. So, there's some speculation maybe he couldn't do some of the pass pro stuff, yada, yada, yada. So maybe this equals he's got this full week of practice. Let's see if his role expands and if he can assert himself and at least give us the confidence that this is a committee when Elijah Mitchell returns. But for me right now, as much as I love Trey Sermon, like if you told me to pick like which 49ers back I want to own the rest of the year, it's still Elijah Mitchell. Once he's healthy, just because we saw in the first week, he took over the whole thing once Mostert, was out. We haven't seen that from Sermon yet. So I at least know the coaches who's the better running back, who does the better scheme, all that stuff. I don't know. I'm not, I'm not a coach, but what I know is that I know who gets to play. And historically speaking, who gets snaps, who gets routes, who gets attempts, like that tells us really all we need to know about the player and how the team feels about him. And so I would still rank Mitchell above.
Okay. Yeah, I think that I feel the same way. I tweeted out that, if you can entertain trades for Trey Sermon for a team that's running back thirsty right now, I would try to move him, see if you can get a solid return on investment. I think that he's still, good play this week, good matchup against the Seahawks, and he should see the most work. We'll see how much work Kyle Juszczyk gets, I guess, and if they interacted with any of those other running backs that they added off waivers, Jax Patrick, Kerryon Johnson, any of those dudes, but we'll find out. But yeah, Mitchell's been the guy, so if I could flip Sermon for Mitchell, right now, I don't hate that idea if I don't necessarily need a running back this week. All right, so let's get into some questions here. First one is Trey Sermon versus Chuba Hubbard. I have Hubbard, yeah, so that's easy. Brandon Ayuk or Zach Moss?
Ayuk. It's close, but Ayuk.
Yeah, I think Zach Moss, everything looks great on paper for him, but sometimes the Bills could just be like, yeah,
it's still a complete split though. And there's not a trend. So meaning nobody in that backfield owns a certain role. So it's not like either him or Singletary have short down and distance. It's not like he or Singletary have the 2-minute offense or the long down and distance offense. It flips every week. So what that tells me is it's probably just a hot hand thing. They get out there, they see which two backs are playing. One of them looks better for the game, and you probably are not going to ever know like which one unless we get more of a trend. That's why I like the backs that I know how their roles are built, because based on game script, we can better project what we think they're going to do. I think the Bills is going to be a tough one.
Yep. All right. Let's get into Zach Moss or Michael Pittman. Pittman has 24 targets the past 2 weeks. There we go.
Pittman.
Mike Davis or Zach Moss?
A lot of Zach Moss.
Mike Davis. Yeah, I think that in full point PPR makes a lot of sense. Good morning. Okay, to start, Adam Thielen or Allen Robinson? Love your work. Appreciate it.
Thielen.
Yes, I agree.
And just so folks know, just kind of, do you want to give everybody a sense of where we have Zach Moss real quick? In my rankings, I've got, and so this is a PPR, half PPR will be pretty close, but I've got, starting at running back 22, I've got Darrell Henderson, then I've got Mike Davis, Miles Sanders, then I've got Zach Moss. I got Trey Sermon, then I've got Zach Moss. Then I've got Cordarrelle Patterson. Then I've got Damian Harris. Damian Harris is just a game script thing this week. And then Javonte Williams. So it's like right there, in a bunch with all those players.
Yeah, I got Zach Moss, RB25, kind of in that back end RB2 slot. So I think I would not put him in a flex. I think you can get a receiver probably with more upside, but RB2, I think it makes a lot of sense. Chad King. I think this might actually be my cousin. Unless it's someone with a different last name or another Chad King. Melvin Gordon or Nyheim Hines, PPR.
This week I have.
Would you I'm leaning towards Gordon because this game should be.
I have Gordon slightly higher, same tier. I've got him 4 spots ahead.
All right, yeah, I'll go Melvin Gordon there as well. Good luck, Chad. Shout out to my cousin. Maybe that's him. I don't know.
It's a very rare name, Chad King.
Steven from Florida. Good morning. Debo or Calvin Ridley? Standard scoring. I'm gonna go. I still believe in Ridley. I know that he's obviously disappointed. Dwayne, thoughts on Debo versus Ridley?
Calvin Ridley. Yeah, I'm good.
Cool. Chuba Hubbard, Sermon, or Mike Davis? I got Hubbard.
Yep.
Full point PPR, Robinson or Jalen Waddle?
Robinson.
Agreed.
This is Robinson's week. If he doesn't smash it this week, it will
Agreed.
be abandon all ships, I guess.
Yeah, guys.
The talent's there. All the underlyings as far as utilization are all there. He's not, he's still the target monster. It's just that the offense hasn't been good. So you just got to roll with it against the Lions.
Second in air yard share last week, only behind Devontae Adams. So the peripherals were there. Just you got to throw away that Bears game from last week. Like it's honestly
he has the best wide receiver cornerback matchup of the week. Grades number 1. He's got the best wide receiver strength of schedule, 10 out of 10, perfect on the week. I mean, it's a crappy total and a crappy implied points, but that's what happens when the Bears and the Lions get together. Oh my! And so yeah, I mean, you just got to roll with it. He should be the lead target today in a really good matchup for him, and he just needs to. If he catches 5 balls against the Lions, one of them's probably a T.
Guys, Aaron Rodgers sucked week 1, week 2, played the Lions, and everyone was like, "Oh, here we go, we're back in business." So let's go Bears. 5 Bears.
Marquise Brown could have lit them up for probably 200 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah,
guys, remember, drop 2.
Guys, never forget, 5 Bears won the Millie Maker one year. 5 Bears. This could be the week. 5 Bears, bring it back. Dwayne McFarland from Chief Matt 1, best hair in the business. Hey, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Thank you. I'll take it. I'll take something.
Chef 22504. Is this the week Diggs finally goes nuclear?
Yes.
Dwayne.
Nuclear.
Boom.
Yes.
Love
absolutely nuclear. I have number 3.
Perfect. Darrell Henderson or Damian Harris? I'm going Henderson.
Darrell Henderson.
What kind of impact do you expect Antonio Gibson to have against the Falcons? Injury concerns with Antonio Gibson?
I mean, if he's suiting up, I'm just going to treat him as normal. The story I heard makes no sense. Oh, he fully practiced, but he must have got banged up in the game, and he must have got kicked in his shin.
Sounds like
something happened during the week, but
sounds like an opportunity to buy in DFS.
Yeah. If you could, it's probably gonna keep his rostership down, a tad. But it's a good matchup, man.
Yeah,
he's before the injury, like he was definitely trending, potentially to push inside my top 10. I've still got him right at 13.
I got him at 11.
I've got him just outside of my top 12 RBs, and it's close. He's in the same tier with Nick Chubb, who is at 12, and then Jonathan Taylor's 1 spot below him. So they're all in the 4th tier together.
Yeah, Gibson is sub 10% rostership right now. So that's, against the Falcons, you really want to take advantage of that.
There's a lot of great sub 10s. I don't even care about matchups. Saquon Barkley at 3, Nick Chubb at 3, Taylor at 8. Yeah, I mean, or Gibson's at 8, Taylor's at 3.
Yeah, there's
DeAndre Swift's right at 10.
Saquon at 3 when he's playing like 80% of the snaps is very
I don't care who he's playing. I don't care.
No, it doesn't matter.
I don't care if he's playing the 85 Bears.
All right, Jared Cook. Sorry, we answered that question. Jared Cook, Mike Gesicki, or Dalton Schultz. I like Gesicki. I mean, Jacoby Brissett has a track record of targeting tight ends. He targeted him last week. Schultz is still splitting time with Blake Jarwin. Thoughts, Dwayne, on the tight end?
Agree. I like you laid it out perfect. He gets the quarterback lift from who he's playing with right now.
0.7 PPR. Now I've seen it all. Do you start Antonio Gibson or Deontay Johnson?
Well, let me look at my sheet for that scoring format. Sorry, who are the 2 players?
Antonio Gibson or Deontay?
I'm playing Gibson. Agreed. Look, Deontay, it's great. Like, he basically wasn't on the injury. He was on the injury report this week, but he got back very quickly to full practice status. That's all good. It is a tougher matchup. Matchup does matter a little bit more in my opinion, for the receivers. So I would lean to Gibson.
All right. Mike Davis or Trey Sermon? I'm going Mike Davis.
Mike Davis, yeah.
All right. Kyle Pitts, Dallas Goedert, Cameron Brate. This is Pitts, right?
Yeah.
Easy.
Kyle Pitts, easy.
Guys, don't, guys, especially in regular
I have
leagues.
Kyle Pitts number 6.
Yes.
I'll just list my tight end rankings real quick for everybody.
Do it
It's like I got Kelsey, Waller, Kittle, Hawkinson, Andrews, Pitts. These are in tiers when you hear me pause. Noah Fant, Thomas, Higbee, Gesicki. Then I've got Hunter Henry, Evan Ingram, Dallas Goedert, Jared Cook, Tyler Conklin, Robert Tonyan, Cameron Brate, Cole Kmet, and Will Disley is the grab back section. Dawson
Disley
Knox right there. And then you get to Dalton Schultz. So don't overthink it.
Don't chase the touchdowns with Dalton Schultz. James Zhao, will Cook split time with Madison? No.
Yeah, I doubt it.
Yeah, everything that we've seen from this coaching staff has been when Cook is playing, he is the guy, and it's not, Madison doesn't really play that much. So, how's it going, Hustlers? I guess I'm an honorary Hustler today. Absolutely love it. Hubbard or Melvin Gordon, half-point PPR. He's leaning towards Hubbard. I also agree. He says he's undefeated with Melvin in the flex, so I don't know if this is a team construction concept.
You know what? You need to motivate Melvin to do even more. Send him to the bench, and you'll be happy with what you get next week. So I would definitely play Hubbard over Melvin Gordon.
Christian Kirk, Rager, or Robbie Anderson, full-point PPR.
I got Robbie today against the Cowboys in a potential shootout. It's close, but
I think
just
if
you
can't start Robbie today, then this is it. This is do or die for Robbie Anderson and his 11 targets over 3 weeks.
And to be fair, I have him in the same tier, but Kirk's just got, the tough matchup with the Rams. I mean, it's the worst on the wide receiver strength of schedule. And it's the second hardest from a wide receiver cornerback matchup. So it's going to be a tough day for the Cardinals receivers. Now in DFS, I would stack those Cardinals receivers with freaking Kyler Murray all day, just because you're going to get low rostership. But as far as, your season long goes, I would give a slight hat tip to Anderson.
Raymond Espizana, Brian Edwards, or TJ Hawkinson, flex. I'm going Hawkinson.
Oh, Hawkinson, yeah.
Easy. Cameron Brate or Robert Tonyan? I know that you just listed off your tight ends. Are they pretty close?
Yeah, it's closer than we would think, but I got Tonyan ahead.
Yep, I agree.
It's funny. They're right next to each other, 16 and 17. But it is still technically ahead.
Saquon Barkley or Darrell Henderson? I'm going Barkley.
Oh, yeah, Barkley all the way.
Guys, Barkley's back to the workload of being a RB1. I think we don't have any doubts about
There
Barkley.
Shouldn't be many names you're asking about with Barkley. Like, it should be like a name like Ezekiel Elliott or something like that, where we're like, okay, timeout. Like, we got to think about it a second.
Here's a DFS question. DraftKings cash, Najee Harris or CD Lamb? Najee Harris had 19 targets last week. So I'm going to lean towards him. He seems like, his volume is so secure.
Well, he never leaves the field. He's in the passing game. He's all the running game. Yeah. Harris, I think, is he's a lot.
He could see his targets cut in half and he'd still catch 7 or 8 balls.
He could see his targets cut by 70% and still lead all backs.
So go with Najee and cash for sure. I think he's definitely super safe floor. Corey Davis or Chris Godwin, full point PPR. Chris Godwin. Corey Davis looks good this week. I like him, but not more than Chris Godwin. Don't overthink it. Sit one. Antonio Brown. Almost said AJ Brown. Antonio Brown, Deontay, Myles Gaskin, half point PPR.
Myles Gaskin.
Yes, I agree. You got to start Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown revenge game. I know that's not nearly as hyped up as Tom Brady's, but one game Antonio Brown played with the Patriots. Can't forget it. Corey Davis, Michael Pittman, Deontay Johnson, Jacoby Myers for the flex, half point PPR.
Just one of these? It's Deontay.
Yes. Yeah, Deontay. Deontay's locked and loaded, guys. Claypool, we saw him get targets last week because it's Najee Harris and then whichever Steelers is the number one wide receiver, and it's always been Deontay.
I do wonder. I think Najee Harris's numbers are coming down just because Deontay does work more underneath, and so I don't. I would think that a lot of what Najee got last week, that's probably why Najee got so much. Is they didn't have the other option underneath because that's really not what Claypool does. Juju does work in that area, but more from the slot, and Juju's not a real separator. Deontay is like a route technician, and he and Ben, they're simpatico. So
we'll see too. I know that the Green Bay's been their corners have been playing really well this year. I know Alexander, and then the rookie Stokes has played.
I have
really
Deontay
well.
at wide receiver 27, and I worry I have him too low. I feel like I keep thinking, like, how do I get him into my top 24, especially with one of the other receivers out?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I like
It's
him.
it's the Big Ben effect that makes it like you should definitely start him, but it's like, does he have like a top 12 upside? He's got to find the end zone, I think, is really the big thing with Deontay, especially if it's not full point PPR. Sermon or Emmanuel Sanders, full point PPR.
Sermon.
Flex. Sell high on Antonio Gibson after this week. I mean, you got to first see him play first. So, would you entertain sell high?
I have no problem selling high on any player,
Especially
so,
if the answer, not...
it's all a matter of what do you get in return, right? Yeah. So if depends on what sell high means to you. Sell high, to me means like, if I know for sure I make my team better, then yeah, I do it.
Allen Robinson or Jalen Waddle. Allen Robinson. Deontay or Marcus Callaway. Deontay. Mike Williams or DeAndre Swift for flex.
Mike Williams.
Yeah, that one's close, but I'll go with Mike Williams.
Assuming that's a PPR or a half. I guess it doesn't really matter because Swift's a lot of his values coming through the passing game. Yes, I'm leaning Mike Williams. I'm all in on Mike Williams at this point. I'm just slapping myself in the face, punching myself in the nose, for not.
Again, if you want to do I guess you could probably say Swift maybe has a safer floor because he's easier with the running back touches, but Mike Williams, I mean, the dude's just been a freaking monster. You might as well just ride the wave. Thank you guys for the help. Pick 2, half-point PPR, Emmanuel Sanders, Michael Pittman, and Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah, I've got that one. Go ahead.
I like Pittman and Ayuk.
I have it Pittman and Sanders, but Sanders and Ayuk are they're back-to-back. I got him at wide receiver 38 and 39, but Pittman's at 32, so he's clearly in. And then whichever guy you like better, I'm not going to make an argument if, I've got him the same.
Tyler Lockett or David Montgomery, full point PPR. Dude, I just know like Lockett does not play well whenever he's banged up. That's my one concern with him. And Montgomery has the Lions this week, so
yeah,
I might go Montgomery.
I've got Lockett slightly above, but I do agree with that. I got him really close. I got him within 4 spots of each other. So
yeah, I'll go with Montgomery.
Yeah, Montgomery. I mean, this is the smash matchup, and Montgomery's been getting everything.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing he doesn't have is the 2-minute offense, and so I was worried he was going to lose long down and distance and all sorts of passing work to Damian Williams. That just hasn't manifested itself. So really, I mean, Montgomery is basically as close to an every down running back as you can get without being one. Like he's just that much below Saquon Barkley and these other guys because 20% of targets come through the 2-minute offense historically each year. So he doesn't get that, but he has full access to everything else. So he has access to 75 to 85%, of the routes and the running back targets. He's getting 70 to 80% of the attempts, and he's playing the Lions. So yes, Andrew.
Yes, let's go David Montgomery. Another Tyler Lockett question. Tyler Lockett or Cortland Sutton in half-point PPR?
I've got it as Lockett. But if, I get it if somebody's concerned. The good thing with Lockett is he did come back and had the full practice on Friday. If it would have been another limited, so he went from, I want to say he was limited to DNP to full. So it's almost like Thursday could have also just been basically, yeah, look, we're going to, because they'll do that. They rest those guys a lot, late in the week. So I feel like we have it's not a super clear picture around Lockett as far as how banged up he is. So I've got him ahead, but if someone was really worried about the trapdoor floor of it posting a donut, then just go with Sutton. Look at your matchup.
I agree.
Where do you have Lockett? Just so
I have Lockett. I think I have him I think he's like 15. Let me check. Pull it up.
I have him at wide receiver 14.
He is in half-point PPR. Actually, I have him at 18 in half-point PPR. So I moved him down a little bit, but
okay.
All right, let's go. All right. Naeem Hines or Trey Sermon PPR?
Sermon. Sermon's just got the access to the bigger upside. You know what I mean? Like if he does all of a sudden come out and take 70% of the backfield work and we don't see use check, you could be in a great situation.
Josh Jacobs on Monday or Sermon/Pollard. I don't think Josh Jacobs is going to play. So I'm going to.
I'm leaning more towards Josh Jacobs is going to play after reading more about it yesterday. But I wouldn't take the chance. I would just play Sermon. You know Mitchell's out. I would just play him because guess what? Even if I knew for sure Jacobs was going to play, I would rank him right there in the same area as we have Sermon.
Agreed. Love the stream. Where's the question? I appreciate the stream. Thank you, Patrick Wall. Standard scoring, Miles Sanders or Kareem Hunt?
I have it as Miles Sanders, but it's
Miles Sanders.
I don't. I have it as Kareem Hunt. Sorry, easily. What am I even talking about? Miles Sanders, I've got down at 24, and I've got Kareem Hunt at 18. Hunt just has a great matchup, this week. And here's the thing with Hunt. If the Browns fall behind, he gets most of the work. If the Browns are closing out a game and they're icing it, guess what? He runs all the 4-minute offense. Like Nick Chubb has to thread a needle every week, and he's good enough to do it. And he has a good matchup. So I like Chubb. But really, Hunt gives you more, resistance to whatever kind of game script might happen. Like he's not having to thread as tight of a needle. His role is much bigger than what people think.
Yeah, agreed. I like Kareem Hunt as a guy in DFS this week. As kind of like a sneaky guy that not many people, just because he's not, he's a quote unquote, backup running back. But when you look at the way he's actually used, it's like, well, he actually sees a lot more work than most other running backs do that are, secondary pieces in their offense. But he's really a featured part. So especially in PPR, if the Vikings get a lead and they have to throw a little bit more, I like a Baker Mayfield, Kareem Hunt, OBJ. Kind of contrarian stack, bring it back one of the Vikings players.
Andrew, never going to quit the Baker Mayfield.
Hey, it'll happen. Half point PPR, Allen Robinson or Deontay Johnson? I'm going Robinson.
Yep, I've got Robinson.
Do you worry about DeAndre Hopkins this week? Well, he's been practicing more, so
yeah, he's in full practice all week, not on the injury report. He's got a tough matchup, but I mean, you're going to play DeAndre Hopkins if he's on your roster.
It's not like he's
if you're in a 2-team league or something, I mean, then maybe you bench DeAndre Hopkins. But I don't see how he's anything worse than a wide receiver 2 on pretty much any team built.
I mean, I get maybe you don't play him in DFS because they've been spreading the ball out. They've been spreading the wealth. I mean, his 17%
that makes me just want to play
share.
him. When I see the number 6% next to DeAndre Hopkins, that in my mind, that says fire him up.
All right.
Especially whenever you can get Kyler. What's Kyler looking like right now today? Kyler, last time I refreshed was actually last night on our projected ownership or rosterships, 6.4% on Kyler Murray. Ooh. And you can stack him with Hopkins, 6.2. Guess what? If they go off this week, you won't be able to do that again for another 3 or 4 weeks. Yeah, and it's in a great game, 54.5 total. They're projected for implied points at 25.25. Matchups are overrated. When it comes to especially the DFS, in my opinion. So I'm firing Hopkins up all day in DFS today.
I like that call. Cortland Sutton or Robert Woods? PPR flex.
I've got Sutton slightly ahead, but as everybody knows, I've told everybody, stay with Woods. I'm kind of I've actually got Woods 2 slots ahead, but I have them in the same tier. So it's really close. But I don't blame anybody going to Sutton, as the clear alpha on his team. But with Woods, it's kind of surprising. Like right now, we're projecting his ownership over 10%. But that kind of and I know it's just the game total. The game total draws people in. Like people just.
Well, it's because people are trying to time they're like, okay, like Cooper Kupp has to come down eventually, and Woods has to do something, but. Yeah, people are
Cooper Kupp does have to come down eventually. I don't think today will be the day though, because the Cardinals blitz, pass blitz the fifth most in the league, and Cooper Kupp by far and away is the top target as far for his team, and for the NFL for that matter, as far as when they're getting blitzed. Over 55% of the time when blitzed, Stafford looks for Cooper Kupp, which I think the next closest person in the league is like 15% below that.
Where do you have Cooper Kupp ranked?
I've got him at 4 this week. Yeah. I've got Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, Cooper Kupp, but that's tier 1. So those are my 4 tier 1 players.
It seems pretty clear the top 4. I have Cooper Kupp at 2 and then Diggs and then Hill. So yeah, those are the top 4 guys, no doubt. So yeah, I actually have Sutton. I have Woods ranked 2 spots ahead
I like the fade of Cup today in DFS just because, I mean, he's going to be the most owned and most rostered player. And that's where I was thinking the pivot to. I think that's what's happening is people are seeing that and they're like, they're going to pivot to Woods. And so that's kind of steaming Woods, up a little bit.
Yeah. And also, too, those guys play in the late games. So you can have Cup in your lineup. And then depending on how things shake out in the 1 o'clock windows, you can make a swap.
If you're stomping it, you leave him in.
Yeah.
If you had some things go wrong in the early window, you just get out of that game period. You just
get off of them.
You swap the whole game out.
Yeah. I like that strategy with if you play Woods, you can swap him off and play Brandon Ayuk, who's like $300 cheaper. So I think that's an interesting pivot. Brandon Ayuk or Tim Patrick? I go Ayuk.
Where do I have these two? That's a good question on that one. I have Ayuk. Right. I have Ayuk higher. I'm probably too low on Patrick, actually. I mean, I've got him one tier below. He probably should be almost in the same tier. I guess I do technically have them almost in the same tier, but they're like seven apart. But I would lean Ayuk.
Yeah, Patrick.
Kittle could be Kittle's going to play, but man, those calf injuries, those are tricky. Like, who knows what percent we're getting of Kittle? We're dealing with freaking Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen games where Kittle runs less than. I mean, week 1 he ran 16 routes. It's like and that was when he was not
more than that against the Seahawks. But these are these two offenses. They don't run a lot of plays. I think actually looking at my projections for plays for the week, like they were in my bottom 5 that matchup. So it's all about efficiency, not as much about getting a lot of volume to any one player.
Yeah. Okay, let's do OBJ or Cortland Sutton. I like Odell Beckham. I think he's
I have Odell Beckham at 21, and I've got Cortland Sutton at 25, same tier. But Beckham's batting lead off in that tier.
Boom. OBJ. Yeah, OBJ starts.
Cortland Sutton's in the 5 hole in that tier. Robert Woods is 3rd. Allen Robinson sitting 2nd.
OBJ, Antonio Brown, or Brandon Ayuk. I'm going OBJ.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Another OBJ or Sutton. OBJ. Hey, guys. PPR flex. Melvin Gordon, Tim Patrick, Corey Davis, or Nelson Aguilar. Corey Davis, correct. Corey Davis, Robbie Anderson, or Melvin Gordon.
Corey Davis.
Boom. Boom. Robert Woods, Brandon Cooks, Trey Sermon. It's Cooks, right? I mean, guys, Cooks is like a 30% target share. Like, I mean, I don't know.
I have Cooks and Woods ranked right next to each other. I know that eventually Cooks, the wheels are going to fall off. Like, this offense sucks.
That's true.
It will. It will. Look, he's still going to be a wide receiver 3. Cooks just is not going to finish in the top 12 wide receivers. It ain't happening. I doubt he finishes in the top 24, but there's nothing wrong with that. You drafted Brandon Cooks in like the 10th or 11th round of your draft, and he's your wide receiver 3. That's great. He's just overperforming right now.
Do you think that Cooks is just kind of spinning in a DFS way? So the Bills are pretty popular players. Like Diggs is popular. Josh Allen's popular.
He's a great bring back.
Yeah, and he's actually
if you're playing the Bills players, and you're not putting Cooks in your bring back. I mean, I'm not.
Cooks is right now. Cooks is 3%. So
yeah, which is kind of weird because for how heavy people are going to be on the Bills, which is not crazy. I guess when you look really at the top 4, Diggs is by far the least projected ownership, right, out of our top 4 by 3 to 6%, by 3 to 8%, depending on who you're comparing him to. So yeah, I think what's scaring people off of that game, it's not people are scared of it, but it's just it's the spread. They're like, hey, is it going to be competitive enough to keep things going? Here's the beauty of the Bills. They don't give a shit.
Yeah,
they just keep throwing the ball. They just keep throwing it, and they'll let Josh Allen keep running it. Like, it's almost borderline kind of like malpractice, in my opinion. They're going to get Josh Allen hurt. But it's like it's what they do, man. They're not a team that wants to run the football. They don't even know what a 4-minute offense looks like. It's not in their dictionary.
Could not agree more. Love the call there. Cordell Patterson or Darrell Henderson? Full point PPR. I have Henderson.
I think the Cordell Patterson bubble is going to burst. I think he's going to be a useful player. But the efficiency we've seen and the touchdowns, it's just it can't keep up. Regression is definitely due for Patterson, like big time.
PPR, Jacoby Myers or T. Johnson? Is that Ty Johnson? I don't know. If it's
Jacoby.
Ty Johnson, it's Jacoby.
I think it's Jacoby.
It's Jacoby Myers. It's actually Jacoby. Okay. Tough question here.
You are definitely you are the pronunciator. I got to give you that.
New life. Thoughts on Le'Veon Bell and half point PPR, Dawson Knox or Mike Gesicki?
Le'Veon Bell is going to be active. I don't trust anything in the Ravens backfield right now. None of it.
Could be four. I mean, it could be 4 guys with Freeman.
And then I Gesicki over Knox.
Yeah, I agree. Half point PPR, Lockett or Devontae Smith? I'm playing Lockett.
Lockett.
DeAndre Swift or Saquon Barkley?
That's closer. I got Swift. I got Swift in that one.
Yeah, I'll go Swift. Chuba or Miles Sanders? PPR.
Chuba.
Agreed. Devontae Smith or Antonio Brown? Full point PPR. I'm going AB.
Devonta? No, Devonta. Man, come on.
Dude, AB revenge game? Come on. Henry Ruggs or Emmanuel Sanders? I'm going Sanders. The Chargers are one of the better teams against the deep ball. So we'll see.
Well, and the problem is, like, as much as Ruggs really is playing better, like, yes. I'm excited about, like, the trajectory at this point, thinking, okay, maybe things are turning. Maybe that dunk we all saw is actually going to finally, all that athleticism pays off on the field. But he's just not out there enough. Like, he's running a route like 65% of plays. That's just – now, granted, Nelson Aguilar was like 75% last year and was coming up with bombs every week. And the new Derek Carr, like, that can just apparently always had these dimes he could just drop from 50 yards out and just never wanted to show us. It's a great fit right now schematically. I just want to see more routes.
OBJ or Juju? OBJ.
Yep.
Cole Beasley or Brandon Ayuk?
I got Beasley.
Yep. In PPR, yeah. Kittle or Jonnu? You're starting Kittle. Like, you're not benching Kittle if he's playing.
You should just drop Jonnu, actually. He only runs a route 30% of plays. He shouldn't even be on the roster.
Yeah, Jonnu's not rosterable right now. Trey Sermon or Naeem Hines? Sermon. Trust Galladay today. I mean, they got to.
I mean, tough matchup. It's the wrong kind of matchup for Galladay. Lattimore's like perfectly built to cover Galladay. Not a big separator, more of a physical catch it, win it at the catch point. Lattimore plays really well against that type of receiver, so that bothers me. But when you could have the funnel that is going to potentially get today, and they took him completely off the injury report at the end of the week. Those two things, make me lean to using Galladay.
This one's interesting. Kittle or Hawkinson?
I
have Hawkinson ranked higher, so the targets
you know what? I've got them next to each other, but I mean, I haven't done my updates for the morning outside of the obvious ones. But I'm going to move Hawkinson one spot ahead. I'll probably actually move Kittle all the way down below Andrews, so it'll be Kelsey, Waller, Hawkinson, Andrews. I'm just worried about a cap on the routes and snaps today for Kittle, or a flare up in game first quarter, and you're looking there and you're like, well, that sucks.
Yeah, especially because, I mean, Hawkinson is the best alternative that you could look for. I mean, he's getting really great usage. He's the target leader for the Lions besides Swift. And so far, we haven't really seen the targets go towards Kittle as much as we all would have liked it to go. What do we got? Nick Westbrook or Tim Patrick?
Tim Patrick.
Tim Patrick, baby. I'm not thrilled about Nick Westbrook. That's just my honest opinion.
You have to be you need to be in like a 14 teamer.
They could literally use any of those guys. There's so many Titans receivers that they could use Marcus Johnson, they could use Cameron Batts, they could use Chester Rogers, and Ferkser's back. Yeah, it's gonna be Derrick Henry 40 touches, and then I would not want to rely on any of these Titans receivers. Waddle or Deontay? Deontay.
Yep.
Tim Patrick or Cole Beasley? PPR. Beasley. Follow-up question. Would Kittle be a good flex option over Woods or Cooks then? Flexing the tight ends, I know.
I mean, typically I would say yes. But
I don't think you need to. I think those are good.
You don't need to. That's close enough. Or just
those are good alternatives. Would you go Woods or Cooks then in that case?
I have them right next to each other. I think we answered this one with Cooks earlier.
Okay, cool. Pitts or Corey Davis? PPR.
Corey Davis.
Yep. Yeah. Anytime you can. Yeah. Terry, CD, Keenan, Ridley. Bench one of them. Oh, man. All studs.
I don't want to bench any of them. If
Just who's ranked lowest.
If I have to bench one of them, it's McLaurin. I'm not benching. I mean, the other thing is if you look at, I didn't look at Keenan's practice report yesterday, but he was limited the first 2 practices of the week, so that could be the only other thing is just check the injury report for sure on Keenan, and if that becomes a tiebreaker. But Terry would be the player I would bench.
Man, that's a tough question.
You need a bigger league.
Brandon Ayuk or Allen Robinson? I'm starting Allen Robinson.
Yes.
James Conner or Michael Carter, running back?
Michael Carter, I have slightly higher this week. Carter took over last week as the lead ball carrier, and you had really Ty Johnson handling more of the passing down work. So I've got them right next to each other, but I'm going to lean to Carter today. I think this is a chance for the Jets. The Jets have had a horrible. They suck. Yeah, the schedule's been brutal. It was a brutal schedule to start the year, so they could get a little something going today. So I'm going to lean.
I think that makes more sense. Connor had his week last week. Like, that was a good game script for him. But if they're trailing in this game against the Rams, it's going to be the Chase Edmonds show. So I like that call there. Jacoby Myers or Cordero Patterson, half-point PPR. I'm going Jacoby. Bucks secondary is banged up. Jacoby.
Yeah, I got them right there next to each other. But yes, I would go Jacoby.
If Jacoby could just find the end zone, it's all he needs. It's all he needs.
A lot of Patterson's production is luck. I don't know how else to say it. He's in a much better role than he's ever been in his career, but still a lot of luck going. Cordero Patterson is he's a luck box right now. If you guys play poker and you know what it's like to run hot, where you're just nailing sets and you're playing pocket fives all in, stupid shit like that, and it's all hitting on the flop, and you're taking all your friends' money. That's what Cordero Patterson is right now. He's not an ace king. He's not an ace queen. He's not a 9-10 suited. Like, the guy's like pocket fives, pocket sixes. Like, he's going to hit a few times, and when he does, he wins big for you. But big misses are coming for Cordero Patterson.
Yep. You're only starting Patterson for all those 0 RB starts. That's the only way you're starting Patterson for the most part.
Yeah, you're loving him as your RB2 if you went anchor or 0.
Mm-hmm. Battle of the dicey second quarterbacks in Superflex. Would you start Fields, Wentz, Wilson, or Brissett?
Oh, Wilson. Oh,
Zach Wilson.
Fields.
Yes, Fields. Go back to him, guys. Like, last week was obviously atrocious, but it can only go up on. Like,
18% of design rushing attempts, scrambles on 10% of dropbacks. Historically, when you get those 2 numbers to where he has them, that equals a QB1.
Hollywood Brown. There's no Rashad Bateman or Zach Moss.
I don't even know who the next player is. Hollywood.
Zach Moss. Yeah, Brown's gonna bounce back. He has to. Fade the drops. Marquise Brown or Galladay?
I have Galladay slightly higher.
Yep. I like Galladay.
I don't. Actually, dang, man. Like, at the same tier, I got Marquise Brown 2 spots ahead.
Josh Jacobs or Corey Davis? Corey Davis. Don't. If you have a good other option, like unless you're so desperate that you have no one else to start to wait on Josh Jacobs, I would try to find an alternative, but it's just me. Tannehill or Bridgewater? Where do you have Tannehill ranked? Because I know that it's like kind of shaky with his
I bumped receivers. Him down. I don't like this crap like today.
No.
Like, Tannehill's based on efficiency, and now his weapons that make him efficient.
the 2 things he doesn't have are his 2 most efficient wide receivers.
Yeah, so I've got him down at QB 18, and I've got Bridgewater naturally at QB 19. But I think there's a better chance, honestly, for Bridgewater to do something today and hit.
I got Bridgewater.
They could be forced to do more against the Ravens.
All right, I'm making the switch. I had Bridgewater 20 and Tannehill 19, so I'm putting Bridgewater ahead of Tannehill.
Fine, I'll switch it too.
I'm just like, you're right. There's no where's the upside with Tannehill, who's an efficient passer. I mean, I guess he could run for a touchdown, but I mean, Bridgewater's been a little more mobile than we give him credit for. Noah Fant or Dalton Schultz? Fant. Pick 2 full-point PPR. Javonte, Christian Kirk, Tim Patrick, Curtis Samuel. 2 for PPR.
Oh, PPR? Yeah, I have got in this one Javonte and Christian Kirk.
Boom. I like that call. Should I bench Amari Cooper, Thielen, Hopkins, or Antonio Brown?
No. Triple
yes,
no.
Keep all those guys in, bench Antonio Brown. All right, we'll do a couple more questions here, guys, and then we will wrap up. Antonio Gibson or Javonte Williams, final flex, Gibson.
Gibson.
Odell, Robert Woods, Antonio Brown, full point PPR.
First two.
Yep. Sutton, Waddle, Mark Andrews, or Devontae Smith, non PPR. That's Sutton, right?
This is pick one. Yes.
Yes, pick one. Yeah. Whenever it's non PPR, I always think, okay, like touchdowns, like who could find the end zone? Sutton's a touchdown hog, so I like him there. Half point PPR, sit one. Zeke, Monty, Miles Sanders. Yep. Damian Harris, Fournette, Naeem Hines, Josh Jacobs. Which two to start? PPR.
Fournette's your number one,
Yep.
And Harris is your two.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, look, we don't love Harris, but I mean, he's still going to play, and he's still going to get goal line work. So
this is the worst case script for Harris, but I still have him just a little bit ahead of Hines.
Yeah. So I mean, he's not an ideal start, but it's not like he's gonna. I don't think he's gonna score 0 points. Like he's gonna score some points. Sermon or Henderson. Antonio Brown or Kareem Hunt. Miles Sanders or Damian Harris. Sanders.
Finally got a Miles Sanders.
CEH or Allen Robinson.
I'm going to go with Edwards-Helaire.
All right. I'm going A-Rob. I'm backing down on CEH, even though I totally missed on him last week. Moss or Henderson. Okay, we just answered that question. All right. Jimmy G or Teddy Bridgewater?
Jimmy Graham.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah,
Teddy, baby, let's go. Pollard, Barber / Jacob. So I guess he's waiting. Should I play Pollard or should I wait?
Yeah, I would wait. I actually have that exact scenario, and where I have
you're waiting.
Both the Raiders, yes, and I'm waiting.
Cool. All right.
Also, when I hear that Jacobs is inactive, I do worry that if Jacobs plays, like, oh my gosh, is this now a three-way?
Peyton Barber. Oh no. I mean, they could just totally neutralize Kenyon Drake. They could put Jacobs in the pass catching role, keep Peyton Barber. That'd be wild. Wouldn't be that bad. All right, last question here. Go out with a bang. All right, Moss or Henderson. We said it's Henderson. We need a good question here. Oh, here we go. This is a good one. Rondale Moore, Henry Ruggs, or AJ Green? Full point. Ruggs it is. All right, cool. Guys, thank you all for watching, checking us out. Again, make sure you check out pff.com. The updated rankings will come out right after inactives are announced at 11:30, slightly after that. Dwayne's going to be updating his rankings and tiers articles. I'll be updating my rankings on the site, sending out any other updates. Dwayne, any other final thoughts for the people tuning into the stream for week 4?
No, man. No, I think we covered a lot of good stuff. Appreciate everybody jumping in, and thanks for all the engagement.
Yeah. Perfect. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back next week. Good luck to everybody. Don't tweak too much. Adjust to new information, but don't tweak your lineups too much from what you've had all week long. Trust the process.